Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are back with the Ivy Fitness Talks. I'm gonna try to be a little more consistent. We're dropping episodes every week if I can. But yeah, we're gonna get started. So today I'm having a personal talk with you guys. Anybody that's listening and or watching this, as you can tell from the title of the podcast, we're talking about how bad do you want it? Because I get people that ask me all the time, or people that know me that they just ask me. I kind of got crackhead energy. I'm always like enthusiastic. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to go. It could be sunny. It could be cloudy, snow, rain, sleet. It doesn't matter because everything the things I want in life, I want them bad. So I do whatever it takes every day to take steps to achieve those goals. So the key word for this podcast, or the key word for this talk right here, is mindset. It's literally all about your mindset. I've met so many people with the worst mindsets possible. And I'm not going to lie, if I meet somebody, or, if I get introduced to somebody and they have a terrible mindset, or a mindset that doesn't align with with what I'm trying to do, I can't have them around, I can't have them around me. I can't have them in my circle. And, everybody's entitled to their opinions, but it's okay to not align yourself with people with different opinions. But I respect it. I respect your opinion. But, if I don't know, thinking of an example, if you think elephants should be poached because of the ivory in their tusk, that's your opinion. I don't agree with it. We probably wouldn't be friends if you believe that, or if like that's how your mindset was set up. But I'm not gonna come at you and attack you for it. Now, if you're actually out there doing the thing, that's a little different. But anyway, that was a terrible example. But it's all about your mindset and surrounding yourself with people with positive mindsets. It's pretty much it, just positive mindsets. You can have people with different opinions and still have positive mindsets, but it's important to surround yourself with these people. And this is applicable to all walks of life, whether it's at work, your career, a hobby, health, starting a business, retiring early. It's all about your mindset, especially in work life. Because right now, I've worked a handful of jobs. Pizza Hut, worked at a farm, delivered groceries, kind of like DoorDash. I worked all kinds of jobs. And the thing about working these little part-time jobs, they're stepping stone jobs, right? So I'm in school, trying to get my PhD, but I understand that I gotta work these jobs to pay my bills right now. When I worked at Pizza Hut, that wasn't going to be my career. I wasn't trying to move up the chain in Pizza Hut. But when I worked there, I understood that this is getting me through my life right now, this side hustle, because I'm not getting paid enough to live off of just my graduate assistantship. So I needed a part-time job to kind of help pay the bills, and eat every week. But I'm saying this because I had a positive mindset when I was at Pizza Hut, though, or when I was working on a farm in the heat of the day in the summer all day. I had a mindset of, I'm gonna go out here, kill this job, get my paycheck, because this is what's getting me through life right now. It's because it's a stepping stone job. But there's people at Pizza Hut. The farm job I was kind of solo, but at the Pizza Hut job, there's people there that hated it, and they brought in all that negative energy, all that negative mindset. And have you ever just been around somebody that mopes and all they do is complain about how work sucks, life sucks? And I'm like, fam, work somewhere else. You don't have to work here. I get that you're going through stuff, but every time I have a conversation with you, I don't want to hear you talking about how bad you got it. You have a job. You could be jobless, right? So I have a problem with stuff like that, especially where you could be jobless. If you got a problem with it, go somewhere else. It's not, if we're being honest, it's not that hard, especially right now. It's not that hard to get a job. It might not be the job you want, but again, stepping stone job. If you just need something for right now until you figure out what you're going to do later, Shit, McDonald's is hiring. McDonald's is paying people for interviews. They're paying McDonald's down the street from where I live is paying people $300 just to show up for the interview. And they're paying, I think, 13 or 14 an hour just to flip burgers. You can get a job. It's not that hard. You just got to apply. But anyway, I'm going on a little rant. But it's all about mindset. So now getting to how bad do you want it? These are goals. So if you want to, obviously I'm going to do a lot of analogies to health because I'm big into the industry, but if you want to lose 30 pounds, how bad do you want it? You're going to have to work out, or you're going to have to do something active. Now, if you're somebody that is not active at all, but you want to lose 30 pounds, you're going to have to change something. You have to do something. But how bad do you want it? If you're not willing to just be active for 30 minutes a day, or at least, an hour, 4 days out of the week, if you're not willing to do that, you don't want it bad enough. Then you don't really want it that bad. So this could be for anything. If you want to get a promotion, but you got to beat out so-and-so, or you got to hit these numbers in sales or whatever the job is, you got to hit these numbers, you're going to have to double down and give more than what you're giving if you want the promotion. If you're not willing to spend an extra hour after work, or come in an hour early, or do something extra, if you're not willing to do that for the promotion, you don't want it bad enough. So what it's going to take is, I call this ADD, ambition, determination, discipline. Ambition and determination are basically the same thing, but you got to have some type of passion and grit about it when you really, really want something. You got to be determined. You're going to be willing to do just about anything it takes within rules. If you start cheating, it becomes a little bit dicey. But you know what they say: if you're not cheating, you're not trying. But what I'm saying is, you have to be determined, undeniable, to get what you want, or to get what you want to get. But you have to be disciplined. Again, back to like working out. You got to be disciplined. You have to work out consistently. You can't work out 1 day a week, 1 week, then 2 days a week, another week. Then you have a good week. Let's say you get 4 workouts in that 1 week, and the next week you go back to 1. It'll take you forever to get your goal, to hit whatever goal you have. If you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, it will take you forever. It will take you an eternity if you don't have the discipline to be consistent. You got to have the discipline to be consistent. Let's say you're trying to learn another language. Well, if you're only working on, lessons or reading a book, or if you're only working at learning another lesson 1 day a week, it will take you an eternity to become fluent in another language. You have to be consistent. You have to work on it. I mean, maybe not every day, but out of 7 days, maybe 5 or 6 days out of the week, maybe something. It also depends on how you're doing. If you're only doing 15 minutes a day, it's got to be every day. If you're trying to get fluent at a completely new language, especially if you're grown. It's harder to learn a language once you're grown, because your language you learn now, it's set in stone. So if you're only doing 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, it's probably gonna have to be every day. If you're doing an hour, hour and a half, maybe, 4 or 5, maybe 3 days a week. But again, it's got to be some kind of consistency and discipline to stay to it. Now, going over to working out, when it comes to discipline and consistency, how much you do or how often you do it is going to determine the length of your leash, right? If you have a workout program and you're scheduled to work 7 days a week, Monday to Monday, Monday to Sunday, every day of the week you have a workout. Well, if you miss one week, you're probably fine, because you're still going to get 6 days out of the week. Even if you miss 2, if you're doing 5 days out of the week, and 1 week you have something pop up on Tuesday and Thursday, and you miss those days, you're probably going to be fine. You'll be all right. And the next week you get your 7 again, you'll probably be all right, because you're doing more often. If you're only working out 2 days a week, you can't miss a day. There's no room for error. 7 days a week, you got some room for error. 5 days a week, you even have some room for error, because 4 days a week, if you're working out 4 days a week, you're doing well. You're on track. But your room for error gets smaller the less you work out, right? So if you're only working out 2 days a week, you have no room for error. You can't miss a day. If you miss a day, you won't work out again for a full week, because you're only working out once a week if you're missing one of your workouts every week. Once a week, yeah, it's better than nothing, but it's going to take you an eternity to reach the goal you're trying to get, with whether it's losing weight or gaining weight. It's going to take you forever. And another big thing, you got the ab. The next thing is, which I hate the absolute most, is you have to throw out excuses. You have to. I don't care. I'm a firm believer that if you have time to sleep, you have time to, let me clarify. When it comes to working out and getting in shape, because I know people that tell me all the time, I want to get in shape. I want to lose my belly fat. I want to lose my love handles. I want to get a bigger butt. I'm trying to get bigger traps. I want to get bigger arms. All right, well, okay. Then when they say that, what's the next question I ask? Are you working out? People that say no, I'm like, okay, well, I don't understand why this is, what are you doing? Now, people that are working out, okay, what kind of workouts are you doing? Are you lifting? Yeah, I'm lifting. Well, like, what kind of lifts? Well, I don't really have time to lift a lot, so I'm only lifting 1 or twice a week. So, all right, well, that's fine. But if you're lifting 1 or twice a week, you can't miss. Or I tell them you need to at least 3 days a week is, I would say, the bare minimum. If you're trying to legit change your body, change your health, bare minimums 3 days a week. And those 3 days a week have to be full body, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, full body. You got to target everything. Or at least, cardio, if you're just working on cardio. But if you're trying to drastically change, you got to at least, I would say, no less than 3 days a week. If you can get away with 2 days a week, more power to you. But I mean, 3 days a week is bare minimum. But you got to throw out excuses. I hear people all the time say, oh, I want to start getting into the gym. I just don't have the time. You don't have the time. That's cap. That's the biggest cap in the fitness industry. You don't have the time. Are you sleeping? Yeah, I get 8 or 9 hours of sleep. You don't need 9 hours of sleep. You don't need it. Does it feel good? Yeah. I mean, I would love 9 hours of sleep. I don't get 9 hours of sleep. I don't have that luxury. I got too much shit to do. But if you have time to sleep, you have time to work. Again, I'm not talking about drastic workouts. If you're trying to get it, again, bare minimum, all you need is 30 minutes a day. Now, if you're doing 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week isn't enough. So there has to be a balance between how long your workouts are and how frequent your workouts are. 30 minutes a day, you need to be at least 5 to 6, bare minimum 5. If you're doing 30 minutes a day. But again, 30 minutes a day, that's not a long workout. Hell, you could do when you wake up in the morning, you can wake up 30 minutes earlier to do a little quick at-home 30-minute workout right before you go to work or right before you start your day. Bam, you got your 30 minutes in. Or before you go to bed or right when you get home from work, a quick 30-minute at-home workout, right? That's it. You don't have to set aside 2 hours to go, let's say you got to go all the way to the gym, 2 hours, it's right after work, so it's prime time, it's busy, you can never get a wrap. Okay, well, if you're just need to be some kind of active, go on a walk for 30 minutes around the neighborhood. Go for a jog for 30 minutes around the neighborhood. You can, internet's the most powerful thing in the universe right now. All you got to do is go online, quick 30-minute workout at home, lose weight, or quick 30-minute workout at home, tone. You'll find all the stuff you want, you could possibly imagine for at-home workouts. Then they're free. They'll be on YouTube. They'll tell you what to do. You can find PDFs. There's free work. It's all free online. All you have to do is go look. Or if you got a friend that's into fitness, ask them. 30 minutes. That's it. That's all it takes a day. That's excuses. You got to throw out excuses. You have the time. Now, some excuses are understandable. If you got hurt, you got to rehab, take care of yourself first. Or if some let's say you want to, I get it, but you got to throw out excuses. At some point, you have to say, I really want it, so I'm going to sacrifice. You got to, this brings me into my next point. You're going to have to sacrifice something. You're going to have to sacrifice something to change either your body, your work life. If you want to get to the next level, you're going to have to sacrifice something. And again, how bad do you want it? Me personally, I wake up at 5:30 Monday through Friday. I'm working out 5 days a week. And then on Monday and Fridays, it's 2 days out of on Monday and Fridays, 2 days. But anyway, that's besides the point. I wake up at 5:30 a.m. to go to the gym. That's not, it's early, but there's people there way before me. There's people that wake up at 4:30, get to the gym right at 5 when they open. I used to do that, but I'm able to sleep in now because of my schedule. But I wake up 5:30 a.m. Monday to Friday. I sacrificing some sleep because I don't have to, if I didn't work out, I wouldn't have to get up till 8 or 9. If I wasn't going to work out, I could sleep in till 9, but I'm sacrificing sleep because of my schedule. I work from 8 a.m. all the way till when it's time for me to go to bed. I'm working. I work all day. I have 3 jobs. I'm working all day constantly. The only time I can get my workout in is 5:30 in the morning. Well, I get at the gym at 6. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's the only time I can get my workouts in, my lift in. So, but I want, my physical fitness is so important to me. I'm passionate about it. My ambition to reach my fitness goals, my determination to reach my fitness goals are so high, I'm willing to sacrifice sleep to wake up early in the morning to go work out. I want to sacrifice some sleep. And that's the easiest. For some people, it's the hardest thing to sacrifice, but it's the easiest thing to sacrifice because all you have to do is set your alarm and get up earlier. That's all you got to really have to do. Like, it's not like you're sacrificing something physical or tangible. You just got to get your ass up early. Because once I'm up, I'm up. But I have the discipline to when my alarm goes off, there is no snooze button. There is no snooze button for me. Once my alarm goes up. Once my alarm goes off, I'm up. My feet are on the ground, and I'm getting ready to go to the gym. So taking all this, and again, I'm making a lot of references to work and to fitness because just from experience, I can talk on that. But again, this can go for anything you're trying to do. You're trying to start a business. You're trying to retire early. How bad do you want to retire early? If you want to retire when you're 40, you can't be out spending 50% of your check because you want to live life good right now. Unless you're making a ton of money already, that's cool. But if you're like me, I'm a college student. I'm a broke college student. That's why I have 3 jobs, because none of them pay well. But if I was, if you're in a situation like I am, I don't have the luxury to go out and buy what I want when I want. When I need to buy something, I got to plan it, make a budget, and I got to save up for it. Like, I need some more black sweatpants. I need some more hoodies. I literally have to save up to buy this stuff because I don't have the finances to just go out and drop $200-300 on sweatpants and hoodies to buy a bunch because I don't have money like that. But if you're in that situation, but you don't want to work till you're 65, you want to retire when you're 40, you got to start putting money away now. Instead of going out every other night or hitting the bars every weekend, you might have to sacrifice some of that and put money in an investment or put money away at 20% of your check. Instead of taking every check you get and going out as soon as you get it, put 20 aside every check, put 20 aside, put it somewhere with, again, you're going to have to do some research, but you're going to have to put it in something with good interest rate, a high return or a decent return. You're going to have to invest it, because having it sitting in a savings account, that's great for like emergency funds, but having it sitting in a savings account with a 1% or 0.01% interest rate, you're not going to be able to retire early with that kind of return. So you're going to have to put it somewhere. But again, how bad do you want it? If you don't want to be a little more frugal and save a little more, if you don't want to do that, then obviously retiring early is not, you don't want it that bad. Deep down inside, you don't. Because if you did, You every extra penny, like obviously you would take care of your bills now. You know, I'm not saying don't live a little, but you know, let's say your favorite dessert is, I don't know, a Sonic Blast from Sonic, and you go get a Sonic Blast every weekend. Well, maybe every, you know, maybe cut back and don't go as often, or find a cheaper alternative to the Sonic. Let's say you get the large Sonic M&M Blast, might cost you $4. Well, if you're getting that 3 or 4 times a week, that's 12 to $16 a week. You multiply that by 52, we're talking about some serious money. Now, you know, cut back. But I'm saying there's things you can do to cut back, to put money towards retiring early. If you don't know how compounding interest work, you know, I'd say get on YouTube and look into that, because it's powerful. It's powerful. But anyway, I got sidetracked a little bit. But now it takes baby steps to do stuff like this. If you don't already have the discipline for stuff like this, to where you can just apply it to the point in life where you're trying to level up. If you already have discipline, you know, I got most of my discipline from playing sports since I was a little kid. You got to show up, you go to practice not every day, almost every day, but you show up for practice, and then you gotta, especially in college, everything, people that don't know, when you're a college athlete, when you're a student athlete, everything is scheduled for you. The moment you step on campus, your entire life is scheduled out, and you follow that schedule. You will literally by default gain discipline, because you got meetings at 6 a.m. Then after meetings, you got mandatory breakfast. You go to breakfast, and after breakfast, you got class. After class, you got study hall. After study hall, you got practice. After practice, you got film. Then after film, you got to do homework for school. And then you go to bed, wake up, same shit, repeat. So you learn this discipline, because everything is literally scheduled out for you, and you just have to follow it. So when you get done with being a student athlete, if you don't go to the next level, obviously, because when you get to the NFL, it's kind of similar, but it's obviously a more professional level. But when you get done with being a student athlete or sports in general, you have that systematic routine of waking up, doing this, planning things out, scheduling things out. So when you have that type of discipline, it's easy to kind of take what you know in terms of discipline and just that mindset and apply it to something else. Like right now, I'm trying to learn Spanish. I want to be bilingual. I want to be fluent in Spanish. Right. And I mean, obviously I took Spanish 3 years of high school, but we all know in America, high school Spanish, you don't really learn shit, and you're not going to remember it. So I know like the super basics, but I want to learn. I really, really want to learn Spanish. I want to be fluent. Well, what am I doing? I have an app called Duolingo. Every day I'm on it. I do at least a lesson a day, sometimes 2 or 3 lessons, but every single day I make sure I get on there and I complete a lesson, because I really, really want it. Right. But it's not going to happen overnight. But I have the discipline to make sure I do it every single day. But the key word for what I'm trying to say, it's baby steps. It doesn't happen overnight. Just like we're working out or training. Let's say you start working out, right? The first day you go to the gym and work out, you can look in the mirror, nothing will be different. You'll look the exact same way you did the day before, or if it's the first time you started training, but even after the first week of let's say you're fresh into the workout industry, you got a new workout program, it's your first week in the program. After that first week, obviously the first day, but after that first week, a whole week, you're going to look in the mirror, nothing's going to be different. You'll look the exact same way you did the week before you started. But over time, 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, a month and a half, 4 months down the road, you'll look in the mirror and be like, oh, snap. I can see it in my stomach. I'm starting to lose it. Or my face is slimming up. My love handles are getting smaller. It's all about baby steps, right? It's a snowball effect. Because then a year later, I mean, if you go online, look at people's before and after with working out, like a year difference, it can make all the difference. But it was each individual day, the discipline and consistency of each individual day, each time they stepped in the gym, It was all of those put together that made the difference. It's the small habits that make the big difference. Just like people that want to get into reading, right? Well, if you don't read at all, trying to get into reading all the time, it's not easy. Especially if you like to watch TV, you like to watch YouTube videos. But if you want to get into like reading if you want to get into like reading a certain amount of books a year, but you don't read at all, it's tough. But what do you start off doing? Okay, let me go off. You can do like by page. Let me read a page a day. It sounds like, if you've got a book that's 300 pages, 365 pages, it'll take you a year to finish that book. But if you at least start making some progression every day, you're going to eventually finish that book, right? But you can start off a page a day. And then once you get in the habit of reading a page a day, it becomes routine. Okay, let me do 2 pages a day. Well, now you go from taking a year, now it takes half a year. So you can let's say you have 2 books, 365 pages, you get 2 books done instead of 1. Okay, 3 pages a day, right? It starts to make a huge difference because now if you're reading 3 pages a day, it only is going to take you a third of the time to read that book. That's a huge difference. A third of the time to read a book, or by minutes. All right, let me start reading 5 minutes a day. Get as far as I can, 5 minutes a day. Okay, all right, I got a routine, read 5 minutes a day. Let me do 10 minutes a day. And then as you get good, you can level up that progression. So you start off small progression, then after a week or 2 or however long it takes, you'll take your time. But after a month, okay, 15 minutes a day. You go 15 minutes a day. Then you get a few months in. All right, I'm gonna go 30 minutes a day. Well, once you're reading 30 minutes a day, you can get through a book pretty quick. Then maybe down the road, you're at the point where you're reading an hour, maybe 2 hours a day, or breaking it up. It doesn't even have to be all in one sitting. You can read 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes before you go to bed, or 30 minutes in the morning with breakfast, 30 minutes with your lunch, 30 minutes with your dinner. It's an hour and a half of reading a day. Depending on how big the book is, you can get through a book in a week, 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? You can really, but it's all about that, getting that progression, get 1% better every day. 1%, just like people that are into working out, progressive overload. For people that don't know what that is when you have the same workout routine, right? You have the same, let's say you bench, then you do, let's say you bench, then you deadlift, and then you do hammer row, right? But you keep that same routine. Well, to get stronger, every couple weeks, you add a little bit of weight. So let's say you're benching 225. Couple weeks go by and it seems like it's getting a little easier. When you first started, let's say you're doing 5 sets of 5 on bench. When you first started 225, you struggled a little bit, but you got it. Couple weeks in, okay, I'm kind of getting it pretty smooth. Add a 5. Then you're at 230 or 235. You're benching, you're struggling a little bit, but you're getting it, right? Couple weeks go by, 2 or 3 weeks go by. Oh yeah, I'm pumping these out. It's getting smooth. Add another 5. So you're adding 10 pounds. Instead of 5 on each side, you're adding a 10-pound plate on each side. And then over time, you're adding weight. So just like deadlift, you're deadlifting. It's getting a little easier, but you're hitting it. Add some more weight. It doesn't have to be a lot of weight. You don't want to add a whole nother plate because then you can't get the reps you can't hit that weight for the amount of reps you need. But just add a little bit of weight, and then over time, like the progression over time, you're going to be 4 or 5 months down the road, you're going to look, you started at 225 for 5 sets of 5. Next thing you know, you're at 275 or 295 for 5 sets of 5. Because every couple weeks, every 2 or 3 weeks, you added a 5. You added 5 more pounds each side. 5 more pounds. So you keep adding weight over progressive overload. That's how you really increase your strength over time, especially if you're training for a specific movement like bench, squat, or deadlift, right? So that's how you want to take that mindset. I'm giving these examples because that's the mindset you want to have at anything you're doing. We're saving up for retirement, or let's say you're saving up for an investment because you want to live off the investment, right? So let's say you invest in something and it's giving you an 8% return a year. Well, if you only have $100 in there, you're only going to make $8 a year, right? But let's say you're a broke college student, so you can't put much into an investment. But let's just say you put whatever you can. Let's say it's like $5 a week, $5 a month, something super small. It's better than nothing, right? And every month it's getting a little bit bigger. But now let's say you graduated and you got a job. Now you're on salary. Instead of making 20,000 a year, you're making 40,000 a year. Okay. Now instead of putting $5 a month, you can afford to put $100 a month or $200 a month. You know what I'm saying? And so let's say you stay in the company, you move up. Next thing you know, you got like a managerial position and your salary is 80,000 a year. Okay, now you can put maybe 500 a month or 1,000 a month. As you increase in your income, you can increase how much you're putting away. Now, next thing you know, if you're getting a 8% return on $1,000, then you're making $80 a year. But you also have to remember you're putting that's 80 a year or 80 on the 1,000, but you're putting in 1,000 a month. So the compounding interest, next thing you know, in 20, 30 years, you're going to be pulling in money that you can live off of. Now, I'm not going to do the math now because I'll get super sidetracked, because when it comes to money, I'll get super sidetracked with calculating stuff. But but you see what I'm saying? You'll increase the progression as you increase in life. So that's just an example with retire, like just trying to start a business. Like you guys know, I got an app. I got a fitness app. Again, talk about this fitness stuff, download my app. Follow my Instagram, FLS4 swag with 2 G's, FLS4 SWAGG. Link in that bio. Download the app. I got you guys. But anyway, I started an app. And when I started it, I had to make workouts. I had to do all this stuff on the back end. So when the app launched, it was ready to go. I had to make so many workouts. It became tedious, but I got it all together, right? So I made a business plan where, all right, I want to try to get this amount of customers my first week, or this amount of people on the app by this month, right? What I'm doing is I promote it on my Instagram, yada, 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 but I'm just slowly trying to add a customer, like just for an example, this wasn't just a random numbers, but customer a month. I can promote it, market however I can to just get a customer a month over a few months, over a year, that's 12 customers, right? And then the next year, all right, I'm gonna try to get 2 customers a month, right? I got testimonials for customers I got now. I'm gonna post testimonials, obviously with their permission. And then, I might reach out to them like, hey, I'll give you a free 30-day workout or 30-day challenge if you, promote my thing on your page because you've been using it, like share your before and afters, your testimonials, yada, yada, yada. Then, doing things like that to increase how many people I get on the app. Next thing you know, you could have 50, 100 people. If you're starting a business, it's all about that progression every day. Even if let's say you're selling stuff, even if you're not making a sale every day, or you didn't gain a customer that day, as long as you made some type of positive progression. So for me, I'm not getting customers every day, right? But every day I either revisit my business plan, I think of more workouts, I'll start making a workout to put on the app, or I'll work on some type of marketing, I'll work on something towards the app. That's all you need. Bare minimum is just some type of positive progression every day. Now, it's going to get to my next point. This might be a thick podcast, so you guys stay ready. Set goals. This might be the most important part to whatever you want really bad. You need to set goals, and you need to have them somewhere that you'll see them every day. Because for a lot of things that you want in your personal life, you have to be self-motivated, right? Because if you want the promotion, yeah, your friends like, oh man, you got it, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, you have to be the one to put in the work at your job, to hit the numbers, to get the promotion. You have to do that work. Your friends that are in a different job, they can't do the work for you. So you, at the end of the day, have to motivate yourself, or you don't have to motivate yourself, but to some level, you also have to do it for yourself. I get some people do a lot of stuff for their kids that motivates them, but as well, it has to be some level, it has to be for yourself as well. Even if doing it for your kids is for yourself, if that makes sense. But you need this, but when setting goals, daily goals, to-do lists, what I need to have done today, I think daily goals might be the most important because, if let's like I want to be a professor when I graduate my PhD. I want to be a professor, right? But and that's a goal I have. But I will not achieve that goal if I don't make sure I'm hitting the goals I have to do every day. The daily goals are the most important because those are the goals that get you a step closer to your big goal. Daily goal, weekly goals, monthly goal, yearly, midterm, long term. Set deadlines, right? If you want to, let's say you have a wedding coming up, and you need to lose 60 pounds, right? Let's say you're 6 months out. All right, well, that means you need to lose 10 pounds a month. That's a monthly goal. You need to lose 10 pounds a month. All right. Well, how do I lose 10 pounds a month? Well, I need to lose 2 pounds a week, right? Weekly goals. So to lose 2 pounds a week, I need to have daily goals set up. All right, I need Monday, this workout, Tuesday, this workout, Wednesday, this workout, or whatever, however often it is during the week. You need to have that daily goal of, all right, today I'm doing this. And then tomorrow, then the next day comes, all right, this. You every day you hit those goals. So at the end of the week, you've hit your weekly goal. All right, every day. I worked out every day this week. Well, I worked out 5 days this week. The plan was 5 days a week. I worked out Monday to Friday. Bet I hit my weekly goal. Well, at the end of the month, all right, I needed to have worked out 5 days a week for these 4 weeks doing these specific workouts. All right, that month ends. Bam, I hit my monthly goal of 5 days a week for this particular workout. Next month, it's a different workout and it's 4 days a week, different type of workout. At the end of that month, okay, bet I hit 4 days a week every week. I didn't miss anything. Perfect. Next thing you know, 6 months down the road, you've lost your 60 pounds because you set goals, you set the deadline. Because if you don't, the problem with setting goals, if you don't set a deadline for your goals, it'll seem like you'll never reach them. If you want to lose 60 pounds and you don't set any type of deadline on it, now, I mean, obviously losing weight's a little different because if you work on it every day, you'll eventually get there. But it'll feel like you're not making progress. Setting deadlines is very important because if you want to lose 60 pounds in 6 months or 4 months, whatever it is, if you set a deadline, you'll have that sense of urgency as each week goes by. And the sense of urgency is important because you want to hit those goals when you need. Because the wedding, 6 months, remember the wedding is set. So you need to have it done by the wedding because you need to be able to fit in the dress, yada, yada, yada. Well, if you don't set that deadline and you're just taking your time, you don't have that sense of urgency, wedding shows up, you've only lost 20 pounds, you can't fit in the dress. You know what I'm saying? Or you can't fit in your tux, whatever you're going to wear. So it's important to set deadlines to your goals because you want a sense of urgency. Now they don't have to be you don't want the deadlines to be unrealistic. You want realistic deadlines. Like if you're trying to lose 100 pounds in a month, come on, let's be realistic. Nobody's losing 100 pounds in a month unless nobody's losing 100 pounds in a month healthily, a healthy way. It's either something like super drastic or dangerous, whatever. But to take away from this section is make a plan and execute. If you want to have $50,000 saved up at the end of the year, let's say you make enough, obviously, let's say it's realistic. Let's say you make enough money to save 50,000 a week or 50,000 for the year. Because obviously if you make 20,000 a year, it's not even a realistic goal. But again, realistic. Let's say you want to save $50,000 a year. At the end of the year, you have $50,000 saved up in an investment, right? Well, you're going to have to make a plan. You're going to have to budget, figure out how much you're spending on food, groceries, bills, expenditures, expenses, yada, yada, yada. Make a plan. All right, here's the budget. If I follow this budget, I should have this much money left over at the end of the month. Out of that much money left over at the end of the month, I'm going to invest or put aside this amount, this percentage or this amount. If I do that for 12 months, I should have $50,000 at the end of the year. You have the plan, then all you got to do, again, daily goals, weekly goals. All you have to do is execute the plan. Now, obviously, executing a plan is hard. It's easier said than done. But if you make a plan, even if you're off 1 day or 2 days, or even if you're off, you're at least on track. So let's say like for 1 month, you want to save $2,000, right? You make a plan, you make a budget, and you try to execute. At the end of the month, you slipped up, something happened, emergencies, life happens. Something slips up and you only saved 1,000. So you're off by 1,000. Well, because you made a plan and you attempted to execute, you still saved 1,000 more than you would if you had not planned anything and didn't execute anything. You're still on track. So the next month, you might try to save an extra 1,000 or make up for it if you can. But if you don't, you still saved something, right? It's just like going to the gym. If you go to the gym, I'm a firm believer you need to have a program. You need to like know what you're trying to do so you can make a program to get you there. And you should go into the gym, knowing what you're going to do. Now, some people go in and just feel it out. You do what you want. But I believe as if you're at the gym, it doesn't matter if you have a plan or not. If you're at the gym doing something, it's better than nothing. If you're trying to lose weight, you don't know what you're doing. You don't have no program. You don't have a trainer. You're just at the gym, just looking at machines, just doing whatever. That is still making progress towards losing weight because you're at least active. Even if you go to the gym and do random stuff for 30 minutes to an hour, you get a sweat in and you're just doing all kinds of, it's better than doing nothing. You're at least active for that hour you're in the gym. And that's the most important part is the attempt of the execution. Might not be perfect. You might get sick, miss a week, miss a few days, miss a week. You might get an injury, have to miss time. But as long as you're attempting to execute the plan, that's better than not executing at all. Now, next, when it comes to whatever you want, you got to prioritize what you want, right? Because if you're not willing to do the work, again, then the truth is you don't really want it that bad. Like, let's say you want to get a PhD. I have 2 years left, about 2 years left, so I obtained my PhD, right? But I've been my freshman year of college as undergrad was 2014. It's 2022. So when I graduate, I would have been in college for 10 years, which, that's about how long it takes to get a PhD in any degree or program, about 10 years straight from a bachelor's, right? But if you want to be a doctor, if you want to have the doctor title to your name, whether it's a medical doctor or whether it's just a doctorate of some kind, if you don't want to be in school for 10 years, then you really don't want it bad enough. It's not a priority. So, I want to be a doctor. I think it'd be pretty cool to be a doctor. Are you willing to go to school for 10 years? No, I hate school. I would never do that. I would never go to school for 10. Okay, then you don't really want to be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Especially a medical doctor, because then you got the degree, then you have the residency. You don't really want to be a doctor if you're not willing to put in the work. If you want to, if you want to get in shape, and I don't mean like just get in better shape, but you want to get fit, you want to be bodied up, but you don't want to go work, you hate working out, or you don't want to go work out, you don't like working out, or you're not willing to work out X amount of time, then you don't really want to be fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really want something like that, or if you really want to do something like that, you'll do what it takes. You'll be willing to put in the work. It's like sports. The sports is a little different because you can be super talented and still not get scholarships, or only the cream of the crop really gets, makes it to the NFL. And then sometimes people that are talented enough still don't make it, but it's similar to sports. If you want to be really, really good or the best, like think about Kobe or MJ. Mindset's undeniable, right? But yes, they had God-given talent. But at the same time, do you think that they were just half-assing practice? No. Kobe didn't half-ass anything he did. You think they just, showed up, did the bare minimum? Practice was at noon. They showed up at noon. Practice was over at 3. They left at 3. No. They showed up early, practiced before the practice, had the practice, then they practiced after the practice, or they did some kind of recovery. I promise you, they did extra film. I promise you, they did extra work in the weight room. They did everything in their willpower to put in the work so they could be the best they could be. And it showed on the court because they were willing to put in the work. Some people aren't willing to get up that early and put in the grind. If you're not willing to do it, you don't want it bad enough. So just prioritize the things you do want bad enough. You know, if you want to be, let's say you want that promotion, but you know, you want the promotion, but you're not, it's to you, maybe it's not worth the extra work to hit the numbers. And let's say the pay, right, is only, you know, not that big of a difference, but you know, you want the promotion, but it's not like something you're willing to put in the work for. But let's say starting this business that you've been thinking about, you've been focused on it and passionate about it. Okay, then prioritize that. You know, you still do well at your job. Don't get me wrong. Don't half-ass anything. You can prioritize things, but still give full effort and stuff that on the full list. You know, I give 100%. I give full effort on all three of my jobs. But some of them are prioritized more than others. Obviously, my job at UTSA takes the highest priority because they pay me to do research at the university, so my tuition is paid for. So obviously, academics, number one priority. But when I go, right now I work at Shoe Palace. When I go to Shoe Palace, I go ham. I go hard in the paint because anytime I do so, especially a job or any type of work environment, I'm all in, right? So don't half-ass anything, but prioritize what you want to prioritize to put in that work, right? And so the next point I want to make is, all this being said, mindset, and it's not difficult, but it's not easy, right? Difficult and hard are two different things to me, right? It's like fitness, right? Everybody wants to be in shape. Everybody wants to be bodied up with the abs and the small waist, you know, women's small waist, big butts. Everybody wants to be in shape, wants to look good, so feel good, right? But if it was easy, everybody would look like that. You know what I'm saying? If it was easy if all you had to do was just wake up and exist to be bodied up, everybody would be bodied up. But you know, there's a reason why this is just a fact. Okay, don't cancel me, but there's a reason why America is the most overweight and obese country in the world. There's a reason. One is just because of the convenience of fast food and yada yada yada. But two is just because having the discipline to work out every day or you know, on a consistent program, it's not easy, but it's not hard. It's difficult, but it's not hard, because if you just did something for an hour a day, it's simple. Simple and easy, not necessarily the same thing, because it's simple to just be active an hour a day. It's very simple. You can do 30 minutes. You can break it up 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. Bam, you got an hour a day. If you are active an hour a day, or if you do something an hour a day or hour 5 days a week on a consistent basis, you're going to be in better health. But it's difficult. It's hard to do that consistently because of the discipline. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm confusing people, even though I'm talking to a microphone. It's not difficult, but it's not easy, right? It's very simple. An active an hour a day, 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day bare minimum. It don't take much to go walk or jog for 30 minutes every day, right? It's very, very a simple thing to do. But obviously it's not easy, because if it was that easy to just do that, there would be no obesity. You know what I'm saying? But with that, all that being said, don't wait. Start ASAP. Whatever. This is why I hate the concept of New Year's resolutions. Now, obviously, New Year's resolutions are great. If you do them, that's fantastic. But I hate the concept of them, because if it's November towards the end of the year and you already have a list of things you want to do for New Year's resolution, what are you waiting on? If you can come up with a list of things starting January 1st that you're going to do to change your life or to better yourself, it's November or December. As soon as you think of it, start now. Why are you going to wait a month and a half or 2 months? What are you waiting for? Start ASAP. Soon as I have so many people that come to me when I go play basketball at the gym. There's this one guy that always comes up to me and says, "Dude, how do you get big traps? Your traps are huge. What are you doing?" Like, I lift weights, right? I was like, what are you doing in the gym? Barbell shrug. Every time I do upper body, I do some kind of shrug, whether it's barbell shrug, a shrug machine, or dumbbell shrug. I'm shrugging because shrug isolates the trapezius, the trap muscles, right? Oh, dude, that's crazy. And then I'm talking to him, like, are you working out? Do you lift? He said, no, I'm just playing basketball right now. Like, well, if you want traps, you're gonna have to lift weights. You're gonna have to work out your traps, right? But all I get is excuses of why he doesn't want to go to the gym. So I'm like, I mean, that's cool if you don't want to do it, but if you really wanted them that bad, your ass would be in the gym, in the weight room part of the gym, because this Gold's Gym has a basketball court. You would be in the weight room doing trap workouts or doing workouts that's going to get your traps bigger. So I'm like, what are you waiting on? You know what I'm saying? That's when people, I just don't have the time. You don't have the time. I see you in here playing basketball every time I'm in here, and you're in here for hours. So what do you mean you don't have the time? You obviously have the time, but it's not a priority. So you really don't want it that bad. Obviously, it's that simple. Start ASAP. Don't wait to start something. Don't wait. If you're ready to get your body in better shape, if you're trying to fit into a dress, you're trying to fit into a tux, you're trying to lose those love handles, what are you waiting on? All you gotta do is download my app. No, but I mean, honestly, download my app or go online. It's not that hard. You have the internet at your access. Figure out if you don't, because if you don't have a gym membership, get it. You don't even need a gym membership. This is why I tell people you can change your body from the comfort of your home. Homework, when COVID hit, home workouts and at-home training skyrocketed, right? So there's a plethora of at-home workouts you can do to stay in shape, to change your body, right? But you just have to start now, because the longer you wait, the longer you're putting it off. Start now. And then lastly, the last thing I want to say before wrapping this up, I didn't think it was going to be this long, but anyway, it's okay if things change. It's okay if you thought that you wanted something bad enough and you started working towards it, and then you realize it's not something you wanted to do. It's okay. Pivot. If you're in a situation, let's say for a job promotion, let's say you're working in, I don't know, HR, and you wanted to work your way up HR. You want that promotion to the director of whatever, the HR operations. I don't know. But let's say you wanted that position and you were going ham. You were getting to work early. You were staying late. You were hitting these numbers to get that promotion. And let's say something happens where you realize this isn't really what I want to do. I kind of want to get into sales, like a completely different industry. You're in HR. Let's say you want to get into sales. Well, it's okay if that's not what you want to do anymore. All you have to do is, all right, you just take a step back. Then you figure out, all right, I want to do this now. Okay. How do I get from where I'm at now to there? Right. You might have to do some research, figure out how you can make that transition, figure out what you got to do to get where you want to be, and then make a plan, execute. You see what I'm saying? You just take a step back, execute. Let's say you're working in, let's say you're a car salesman, all right? And you're working hard to get the promotion where you be the manager of, I don't know, manager of a Ford dealership, right? And then let's say a couple years go by, you're going well, you're looking good at getting that promotion. And then something happened and you were like, you know what? I really want to become a personal trainer. That's something I've been kind of passionate about. And I think that's what I really want to do. Okay. All right. So you're working at a car dealership. So then you take a step back. I was like, all right, what do I got to do? Okay. Well, if I'm going to work at, let's say you want to work at a Gold's Gym, just because there's Gold's Gyms everywhere out in San Antonio. Let's say you want to be a personal trainer at a Gold's Gym and you're working at this Ford dealership. Well, first, if you want to work at a corporate or a, what's the word we're looking for? I guess a corporate gym, you're going to have to get your certification, right? So you need to take a step back. And the plan is, all right, so while I'm still going to work here at Ford. I'm still going to do my job while I'm here. But when I get home, I'm going to take online classes to get my NASM, or I don't know if they require NASM, but I'm going to work on getting my personal trainer certificate, right? So and then once I get that, I'm going to, or I don't know how goals do it, because some gyms, they'll actually, if you get hired, they'll have training for you where you can get it through them. But anyway, this is just an example. All right, I'm going to do these classes. I found this class. I'm going to do these classes, get my personal trainer certificate. Then I'm going to apply to Gold's Gym. And then from there, I'll just figure out what I got to do to get where I want. Pivot. That's all you got to do. You just got to be a pivot. You got to be flexible. You got to be like water. You know what I'm saying? If you pour water in a cup, it takes the shape of a cup. But if you need to pivot and you pour water into a Tupperware in the shape of a square, it changes form, but it's still the shape of the Tupperware. So you gotta be fluid, right? And then worst case scenario, you could always just start over, right? Let's say, worst case scenario, you got a job that you really wanted. You somehow you get fired, you get laid off, or let's just say budget cuts, something, and bam, let's say you don't have a job. So let's just say for right now, you just go get a job at Pizza Hut just so you can pay the bills for right now. While you're at Pizza Hut, figure out what you got to do to get either back where you were, if it's the same industry, or somewhere else that you want to do. So we're going to Ford dealership. Let's say the Ford dealership goes bankrupt and you're out of a job. All right, you get the job at Pizza Hut. You're doing Pizza Hut. So now it's like, all right, well, now I want to get into HR. Look, go online, see if you need a certain type of education. If you do, you might have to go get education. If you don't have time for that, let's say you're grown, you got kids, you don't have time for that, you got to make a plan, figure out what you got to do, make a plan, you got to execute it, right? Obviously, it's easy to say, it's going to take time. Starting over takes time, but if you want it that bad, you're going to have to start over. Or you can just work at Pizza Hut, work your way up through management there. But, most people are going to want to make a pivot. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all for my rant I had for today. Remember, keywords: mindset and how bad do you want it? It's all about mindset. If you can take all of this I just said, if you can just take a positive mindset with everything, going to work, if you're trying to get financial stability, understand that what you're doing now, just know that you're taking the necessary steps to get where you want to be in the future. It's all about mindset. Positive mindset it's pretty much, all of this is just about having a positive mindset. Progression every day, being positive about it. It could be storming, tornado down the street, but if you can just, at the end of the day, go to bed and be like, I got a little bit better today. Tomorrow I'm going to get a little bit better. So at the end of tomorrow, you're better, or you're better than you were currently. That's all it's about. Being better tomorrow than you were today. It's pretty much it. So I appreciate you guys for listening or watching if you're on the YouTube. And again, I'm going to try to be consistent, drop more episodes to you guys. I appreciate you guys for listening. Check me out on Instagram if you guys haven't. FLS4 swag with 2 G's. Follow my podcast, Thingamajigger. But yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Get right or get left. I'ma strip the wealth, even if I touch a meal. And do it through the pain, I don't need a pain. And life won't get me down, but it won't break my will. Cause I've been chasing this so long, I can't give up. I won't give in, been through too much. I done prayed for the money, I done prayed for the fame. I done prayed that I will make a sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same.